So as you can see, my name is Mahdi, so thanks for coming down. So just to give a bit of background about myself, during the day I work in merchant acquisitions, and then during the night probably much more oriented around social entrepreneurship and a lot of charity work as well. So I've come to talk to you a little bit about the project I'm working on called Little Helpers, and essentially what I'm trying to do is build a platform for individuals and professionals to easily connect and discover volunteering opportunities with youth charities. And just to tell you a bit about how we actually came up with this idea itself, I'm not sure exactly. So just about the idea itself, about how it's conceived. A friend of mine works at the Challenge Network, which work with youth within 15 to 17-year-olds who have a high probability of being NEETs, so not in employment, education or training. And what I essentially did is ran a social apprentice competition where these groups chose a social issue in their area about what they wanted to do to really try and affect social change in their area, and basically pitched it, and we ran a workshop with them. And so we came up with this idea, we're like, right, let's see what we can do with this and see how we can help change the world. So we started to go about it in three different ways. So our strategy had three main points. The first one's about empowerment. So the idea is this platform is here to help empower you as an individual or professional, to give you a channel so that you can actually go, if you want to actually genuinely go help the next generation, you have a chance to go do that in your spare time. So whether that's running a presentation or running a workshop, that's what we're essentially aiming to do. The second piece about what our strategies look to do is actually really engage people. So one of the big things that I did when I was actually running these workshops is going to speak to my friends about how they can add value to these people and how they can really change and impact the lives of some of these young people going through this process. And for me, it's a very personal experience, it's a very personal thing. And so I think one of the big things in focus for me is actually making sure that what we do really engages people in a much more meaningful way. And obviously the result of this is that we really want to try and enlighten the next generation of guys who are coming through, and these are the young people who are coming into a world where things are pretty different now, and we need to make sure that we really give them the best chance of doing that. And so that's really why it's so important, because when you think about the economy at the moment, about the number of jobs that are around, especially in the UK and also all around Europe, the onus is on us to help make sure that the next generation have the same opportunities, or they're capable of getting those jobs, or in fact being the change makers that actually create these jobs. So creating the entrepreneurs of the next generation. And so we should be passing on our skills and our knowledge onto these guys. And so we're trying to do this by using the power of the network. So this platform will help you harness the power of the network. Now, a lot of you guys will be working in business, and you all know how important relationships are. And if you think about the idea of the 6 degrees of separation, imagine if you just use that for a force for good. So you can actually go, actually, right, I know someone who can help these guys, and you help connect them up, and then you're really empowering change. So we're actually going to be using technology to really help us do this. And the reason being, the charities that we work with, essentially, they're cash strapped and they're time strapped, and so we want to use technology and to make the most of it, and essentially automate as much as we can, and do some really intelligent things. And by using the technology, we can make much more intelligent matching. So what you can try and find to do is actually, although you might be working with some really senior people and some really young people, there's actually a lot more similarities than you might think. And so we're using technology to help bridge that gap and really build intelligent matching through our platform. And so the way that we're going to try and do this is also linked into the idea about how we're making it so much more personal. So there's a huge amount of data about us all over the internet, and like we have some great speakers already talking about social media. So what we're trying to do is use more intelligently through APIs, which essentially allows you to take some information from, say, Facebook, and put it in another platform, and basically overlay the social information with our kind of database and platform. But rather than just do that, we want to try and take that information and really visualize it, so that you as a person really know the opportunities are really unique to you, and you really know how you can add value. So it's not just about, okay, these are my skill sets off LinkedIn. How about it's the skill sets on LinkedIn, but also, in fact, 10 of your friends support the charity as well, so it's a great one to get involved with. So working in the social enterprise scene for me is quite interesting, because sometimes you find some great social entrepreneurs who are so passionate about the idea they shy away from making it commercial. And the frustration is it doesn't make it sustainable. So one of the big things that I've done is basically think about the business model behind it, so we can always make sure that we've got a way to make sure this runs, and so you can maximise the impact that you have. So the team that I'm working with at the moment, essentially everyone's full-time professionals. We've got professional designers, we've got user experience designers from big firms, digital project managers, and essentially we're all doing this by harnessing the power of passion. Because everyone here who wants to do this is spending their weekends, they're spending their evenings plugging away at this project, and it's all driven by their passion, their love to make a difference. So what's the stage we're at the moment? So essentially we're mocking up and wireframing the site. So these are kind of wireframes about what it might look like. We've got the design, and we're building the brand and the image, and we've got support from hosting companies who want to support us completely on that. And essentially now we're looking to kind of keep building that out until we're ready to get some developers in, and that's about building it. So this is the kind of things that we're looking for at the moment. Essentially we're looking for awesome developers and coders, advice and support, and also just feedback as well. So we've already got essentially quite a large charity client who's basically waiting for us to give them the go that we can help them out. But with this, essentially we're looking for people who are really passionate about the cause rather than just have a skill set. And so that's where you guys come in. Essentially, you as a person know your network better than anyone else. You know the guys that are really into whether it's something social, or whether it's their skill sets and how they kind of think. And culture is really important for me, especially because the guys that I work with have such a great culture. It's really important we maintain that culture, that our end objective is to really enact change. And so if you guys know any people who are actually relevant to that, that would be perfect. So honestly, please do get in touch, because I'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to really see this project really go really far and try and make some real change in the world. So thank you for